गुड मॉर्निंग टू ऑल ऑफ यू। सभी का स्वागत है, सभी को नमस्कार। मैं डॉक्टर अनूप मिश्रा, काशी हिंदू विश्वविद्यालय के डीवी पीजी कॉलेज अर्थशास्त्र में एसोसिएट प्रोफेसर हूँ और पूरे कोरोना काल के लॉकडाउन पीरियड में और आज तक अभी तक कुछ न कुछ एकेडमिक एक्सरसाइज में लिप्त हूँ और उसी के कड़ी में वर्ल्ड पॉपुलेशन डे जो 11 जुलाई को हर वर्ष मनाया जाता है, आई विल ट्राई टू फोकस ऑन दैट इशू एंड वाई we celebrate World Population Day each year on 11th of July, because international days are occasions to educate the public on issue of concern, to mobilize political will and resource to address global problems, and to celebrate and reinforce achievements of humanity. And that's why the existence of international days predates the establishment of the United Nations. And within that purview, on 11th July, we celebrate World Population Day. And as we all know, this year's theme is how to safeguard the health and rights of women and girls. This is very important. And this has been, the historical background is that this day came about in 1989 when it was established by the Governing Council of United Nations Development Program, UNDP, and it was inspired by the public interest in 5 billion day on July 11th in 1987. And that's why the alarming situation was there, and they determined to celebrate World Population Day on 11th July, because the significance was very much alarming. The day is significant because it highlights the problems of overpopulations, raises awareness about the effects of overpopulation on the environment and development. It also talks about the health problems faced by childbearing women and the importance of family planning, gender equality, poverty, maternal health and human rights. That's why this was very significant day, and we all have to concern of these issues of population, because the important is this days and the issue is because it touches everyone and ask us to look forward. And also we know that there is a big disparity in how population issue affects different countries. That's why the significance is there, because if you live a comfortable lifestyle in first world country like United States of America, you probably don't think of population issue of having that much of an effect on your life. Okay. However, the more people are added to the population, the more power and food is needed to sustain all of them. This is the issue. It's hard to keep that food and power production at the rate that the population is growing, and efforts to do so are contributing greatly to climate change, which affects you no matter where you live. That's why this is a common issue, and everybody should address this issue very strongly. This is a global issue, dear students and friends, because never before had population grown so rapidly. In 1950, 5 years after the founding of United Nations, world population was estimated at around 2.6 billion only. Okay, and it reached to 5 billion in 1987, the day which we established the World Population Day. And that day, that was the 6 billion in 1999. And in October 2011, the global population was reached to 7 billion. A global movement of 7 billion actions was launched to mark this milestone. And the world's population is expected to increase 2 billion persons in the next 30 years. From 7.7 billion currently in 2020, 9.7 billion in 2050, and could peak at nearly 11 billion by the end of this century. Just imagine how important these issues is. These all are the trends we have to realize about that trend, and hence I used to say you that the most significant event of the 20th century was the growing of population, rapid growing of population. And when we recall the period when we add 1 billion in a period of time, that is a very, very, very much thing to be cautious. Started from whole history, started from humanity till 1804, there was only 1 billion population. And then within only 123 years later, it added to another 1 billion, become 2 billion in 1927. And just listen very carefully, only in 33 years then, when started of development begins, only in 33 years, in 1960, that added another 1 billion, and that became 3 billion population. And only in 14 years, 1/4, in 1974, the population becomes 4 billion, another add up of 1 billion. And then, dear friends, only in 13 years, in 1987, that became 5 billion population. The day when we alarmed, the day we established the population day, only in 13 years. And that is the not end of the story. Only in 12 years next, in 1999, in the end of this 20th century, the population becomes 6 billion global. Very, rapid population growth. And then that was stabilized again in only 12 years. In 2011, the population becomes 7 billion. And now we are expecting that next 14 years, in 2025, the population will be 8 billion, and 19 years later, that will become 9 billion in 2044 or 2050. So this is the story of how population grows. And this story, when you narrate this story, there is a divide between urban and rural population, dear students. Rural population is decreasing and urban population is increasing because urbanization is taking place. So this is the story of population growth. And then comes this 21st century, where we are facing the disease like COVID-19. And the most significant events of the 21st century is aging of the humanity, aging of the population. And dear friends, you might experience that aging is affected by COVID-19. The most aged population where there is, the COVID-19 is affecting most there. So the decreasing of age 15 and increasing of age 65 is the new characteristics of the 21st century. And we all know the concept of aging, because the aging is a process of becoming older. A human become old and a nation become old. Whole population become old. In humans, aging represents the accumulation of changes in human being over time, encompassing physical and psychological over social changes. And people worldwide are living longer nowadays. Today, for the first time in history, most people can expect to live into their 60s and beyond. And by 2050, the world's population ages 60 years and older is expected to total 2 billion, up from 900 million in 2015. So this is the new challenge we are facing in the 21st century. So now aging is a problem. And we all know that in the evolving transition to older population are challenging the existing world order and impacting virtually every aspects of society, including economic activity, investments, politics, taxation, education, housing, households or family structure, retirement and healthcare services. That's why we have to focus on these issues. Okay, so overall there is a global transition, dear friends. G20 countries, which together represents more than 60% of world population, are well along in the process of momentous aging transformation of the 21st century. Nearly all the G20 countries are expected to have no less 1/4 of their populations aged 65 years and older by 21st century, 2100. And 8 of those countries, including China, Germany, Italy and Japan, are projected to have 1/3 of more their population elderly by the close of this century. So this is global transition period, and that aging is affecting women most. And this is the time of reversal of the population. And giving this concept for you, unprecedented population aging underway worldwide in the historic reversal or the demographic turning point, with children 0 to 14 years in a population become fewer than in elderly 65 years of the population. And this historical reversal first occurred in 1995 in Italy. And you saw the impact of COVID on Italy because there is a more elder population. And today, some 30 countries have experienced the historical reversal. So this is new challenge which we have to experience, and this is whole demographic changes. And there are long of facts which we have to comprise by this. We all know that by 2050, nearly 4 in 5 people aged 65 or over will live in the developing world, like India. And Japan is only country in the world with more than 30% of its population aged 60 or over. And by 2050, the same Japan, there will be 64 countries where older people make up more. So this is the situation of the demographic changes or demographic transition. And for every 100 women aged 60 or over worldwide, there are 84 men. This is also characteristics of population. And for every 100 women aged 80 or over, there are 61 men. So this all statistics we have to learn for the sake of analysis, analysis in the era of COVID-19, because the primary driver of this demographic change is lower mortality rate and of course lower fertility rate. And today more than 80 countries, accounting for nearly half of the world population, have fertility levels below replacement, including China, US, Brazil, Russia, Japan, Vietnam, Germany, Iran, Thailand and the United Kingdom. So below replacement level means declining of the fertility, and declining of mortality means there will be older population in near future. So this too is an important issue nowadays we have to discuss in the era of COVID-19. And third most important is issue of migration. That is also important because migration writes the story of development also. And global migration from 1960 to expected 2050, from 1960 to 20, the trend of migration is increasing. From south to north, from north to north, from north to south, and from south to south, that's increasing. And there is a countries of origin and countries of destination. The countries of origin means rapid population growth, unemployment, living condition, political, social and ethnic conflict. And the countries of destination means sub-replacement, fertility and population aging, labor shortages, highly skilled brain gain, and improved and less costly transportation and communication. So this is the issue of migration. And recent past, has seen enormous change in fertility rates and life expectancy, and in early 1970s, women held an average 4.5 children each, and by 2015, total fertility for the world had fallen to below 2.5 children per woman. And the implication is the mega trends have far-reaching implications. They affect economic development, employment, income distribution, poverty, and social protections. And they also affect efforts to ensure universal access to health care, education, housing, sanitation, water, food, and energy. So the population issue is a very much pure economic issue. And we have to address this issue when we witness the problems amid COVID-19. The problem of migration, the problem of overpopulation, the problem of aging, the problem of women, this all emerged in the era of COVID-19. That's why the sustainable address the needs of the individuals, policymaker must understand how many people are living on the planet, and how many people are living on the planet, and where they are, how old they are, and how many people will come after them. Everybody, every policy maker should know this, and knowing this, they should prepare the policies, because we all know the COVID-19 pandemic impacts global population drastically, and in many countries, older people are facing the most threats and challenges at this time. Although all groups are at risk of contracting COVID-19, older people face significant risk of development service, severe illness if they contract the disease due to psychological changes that come with aging and potential underlying health condition. Today, you know, our great star, global star, our favorite star, Mr. Amitabh Bachchan, also affected with the pandemic, affected with this COVID-19. He's also an old person, was very dynamic. We all should pray for him for speedy recovery. But WHO warns that supporting and protecting older people living alone in the community is everyone's business. This is not business of one, this is everyone's business. WHO warns earlier. So dear friends, all older or all communities must be supported to deliver intervention to ensure older people have what they need. All older people should be treated with respect and dignity during these times. Remember, we leave no one behind. And so observe this period and observe what impacts of increasing longevity means. And we all know when longevity will increase in whole world and rising old age dependency declines, the proportion of young workers are believed to have negative consequences on innovation. And recent studies reported that aging population lead to declines in innovation activity. So this is a very much opportunity for country like India, where young population and skilled young are more than whole world, because whole the world will look upon towards India, because there are a young population and every innovation activities will take place in India in the coming future. So India will become the hub of innovation, hub of skill development, and they will export each and everything for the sake of economy. So this is also a good sign, the country like for India, but this is also a lesson from the whole world how to tackle this problem, especially for the sake of older people. So this we have to hold. We all should learn that advanced countries has most affected because they are aged, they are developed countries. Of course, there are pollution also. There is a link between pollution and COVID-19, and there are various reasons was cause of fertility. Pollution is one, aging population is another, and less of immunity is third one. So there are many things we have to discuss later on. This is not time to address each and everything for you, but the thing we have to see that we have to address the issue of population. Okay, and we have to address the cautious, we have the causes for the our elderly people who are most vulnerable. We have to look upon that. In many societies, seniors are more likely to live in poverty, which makes it more difficult for them to get the things they need and to take care of themselves. We have to look for their society. And we all know, dear friends, poverty presents a whole range of challenges pertaining the health. So India should look upon this all issue. And the public health care in the country is poor, while the private health care is expensive. So we have to make a PPP model for the cheaper health care for the vulnerable, for the poor, for the older, and for all. Because we all know pre-COVID period in India there was only 0.8 doctors and 0.7 hospital beds per thousand in comparison to the 4.1 and 3.4 hospitals comparatively in rest of the world. So we have to focus on healthcare system. We have to invest on education. We have to invest on health, and we have to invest on care economics, because we all know key driver of death is nowadays is COVID-19. So I have to address and concern for that and take lesson from the whole world. Thank you and take care of yourself. Stay safe.